Ladies and gentlemen, we're live right now. Welcome back to the Rags to Riches Telegram channel / community / all that stuff. So what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about the Pulse price prediction. As you guys know, some of you guys that follow this channel, Pulse is a brand new project that is it's going to launch here probably the next 60 days or so, 30 to 60 days. Some of you were participants in the sacrifice phase where you sacrificed a portion of your crypto or US dollars or whatever the case may be to receive, potentially receive points or Pulse. So that will be airdropped potentially pretty soon here. And I kind of want to go over the price prediction because let's face it, that's what matters. That's what we want to know. We want to know what this is all about. Now, admittedly, folks, going out on a limb with a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of variables we don't have. We're just not going to know until it actually launches. So don't beat me up too bad in the comments, but I've done my best to, with my current IQ and intellect, to maybe predict what this could be. It'll be fun to see if I was anywhere even in the ballpark. Let's find out. How about a big old cup of nice critical thinking? Research before you say something stupid. And I've got a party next door, so sorry if you guys can hear all that. All right, Pulse price prediction. What are some factors that are going to cause Pulse to do really well? Well, Richard Hart, who is the creator and founder of Hex, which was a very successful cryptocurrency, launched a couple years ago. Richard Hart has successfully conditioned a small contingent of accomplished holders. Why not? They have made insane amounts of return. So he has this group of complete fanatics. The tattoos and naming their children after Richard and just all this crazy stuff. He's got a very solid group of raving fanatics. And that's one of the factors that I think will cause this project to bounce so quickly once it is launched. He's got a lot of people to help spread the word for him, and I think it's going to do real well. If there's one thing that I know about crypto projects, the base community and hype are the two most important mechanisms. Folks, there's a lot of coins out there that have no intrinsic value, but people put money into it. People put money into things that they shouldn't, but it doesn't matter your opinion on whether or not they should or shouldn't. They did, and it creates value. So the community and the hype are going to be really big. They already are really big right now. So I think these two things are going to cause this Pulse coin to bounce pretty hard as soon as it launches. The community serves as raving fans. They will serve to multiply themselves and do whatever it takes to accomplish the task of proselytizing Pulse. So they're going to multiply themselves. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to tell their family. They're going to tell their kids. Their kids are going to tell other kids. Their family's going to tell their friends. Susie's going to go to card night, and Dad's going to go to his bowling league, and it's just going to spread. This is the Hex effect because he created Hex. And he created these raving fans. This is going to help launch the next project in a really big way. So what's another factor leading to the success of this thing? This coin launches with the total supply and is non-inflationary. I'm going to repeat, it's non-inflationary. We're going to launch with our total supply. So we're going to know that from like day one when mainnet launches. And portions of every transaction fee are going to be burned to make it deflationary. So supply is going to decrease over time. It is not going to increase. All right. You've got the Ethereum multiplier. This is an ERC clone. Liquidity will be mapped back to Ethereum on day one through decentralized exchanges. And when Ethereum does well, Pulse will do well also. So the simple fact that there is a pathway back to Ethereum, whether it's going to be through an Ethereum bridge, Ethereum Pulse bridge, or it's going to be through a decentralized exchange, OneEdge.io, or Uniswap, or whatever the case may be. When Ethereum pumps, Pulse is going to do well to pump as well. And there's a whole lot of factors that are going to lead to, maybe people using Pulse rather than Ethereum. And I say a whole lot of people. I really believe that a majority of people will continue to use Ethereum. But maybe if you have to make big transactions and you don't like the fees, maybe you'll go to Pulse. If it's faster, if it does things better. So it's just something to think about there. All right. So let's travel back in time. I kind of picked some of our, some of our well-known recent coin launchings. Ethereum, 6 years, 2,858x from all-time high. Matic, 2.5 years, about 1,003x. Solana, 1.5 years, 263x. Chainlink, 4 years, 480x. Polkastarter, 1 year, 608x. Neo, September, 5 years ago, 412x. Waves, 3 years, 229x. Data, 3.5 years, 136x. Tron, 4 years, 145x. AVAX, 1.5 years, 120.3. So, based on these averages, you're probably looking at least 300 to 400x in the period of 2 to 3 years. 300 to 400x. Now, I think that we could do a whole lot more. I think that because a lot of my viewers here are going to get these Pulse coins before they're priced. It's going to be very interesting to see how well some of those folks do. Richard Hart said in one of his live streams, he's like, listen, if Ethereum can do a 3,000x, or Ethereum or Bitcoin or whoever can do a 10,000x, then I expect Pulsechain to be able to do the same. He said 14,000x. We'll see. That's a lot. So let's figure out, let's do some math here. I want to keep this as quick as possible. To try to get the math, I got to prove my work to you guys. So this is the sacrifice address. If you look, Hex, and I got my cursor here, Hex, total Hex sacrificed to the tune of about 16.8 billion. DAI stablecoin, 34 million. Chainlink, 38,000. Matic, blah, 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 all the way down. So in terms of ERC tokens and, non-ERC tokens, I'd estimate we're at about 16.9 billion. 16.9 billion sacrificed. All right. So we have something to go off of. And we can kind of reverse engineer possibly what the initial price might be. All right. So algebra. I'm using algebra in real life. I told you, Mr. Morris, that I never would, but I am. So market cap is equal to the total number of coins allotted, multiply the market price of each coin. So we're going to make some assumptions here. The dollar amount of sacrifice phase is around 16.9 billion. Based on bonding curve for time and volume, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can look into hex.com. And on YouTube, his name's Gerardo. He has some really, really good information. But based on the bonding curve, which can be found in look into hex.com, bonding curve for time and volume, average price per 10K pulse throughout the entire sacrifice period, it's probably about like $1.15 or so. I just kind of eyeballed it, but again, these are just assumptions. It's going to be close. Total supply would be 16.9 billion multiplied by 1.15, which is equal to 19.3 billion. Okay, multiplied by 10,000 is 194.3 trillion supply. So let's break this down real quick. So obviously, about 16.9 billion was collected, right? The dollar amount, $16.9 billion. and we multiply that by 1.15, because that is going to be the average of the during the whole period. That's the average price per 10,000 pulse. So we need to multiply that by 1.15, which is 19.3 billion, and then we multiply that by 10,000, because we knew for every $1.15 sacrifice, you get about 10,000 points or pulse. So 19.3 billion times 10,000 is going to be 194.3 trillion supply. If, and guys, this is, again, these are assumptions. If the initial market cap could be in the range of an 8x of the dollar amount sacrificed. So if we have $16.9 billion in the ecosystem, and there's a couple other things, origin address gets to, they get to mint like 1 or 2 or 3% of supply, and then the market makers, they get to mint some as well. But if initial market cap could be in the range of an 8x of the dollar amount, we might be in the $135 billion range for initial market cap, or at least sometime within like the 6 months of launching. Maybe less, maybe more. So 135 billion is the market cap. Let's go back to our algebra here. Market cap 135 billion. Total number of coins allotted 194.3 trillion. And then what are we going to do? Well, we're going to divide 135 by 194.3, and that solves for x 0.00069. Initial price potentially at some point, 0.00069 US dollars. So what's that mean if you sacrifice some money beforehand? All right. Well, if you sacrifice $100 on day 1 or day 3, somewhere very soon, that $100 would be worth $690. If you sacrifice 1,000, you might be at about $6,900. If you sacrifice 10,000, you might be at $69,000. Now, I've pulsed 500x's in 3 years. I'm using 500x because Ethereum crushed it. This is all based off Ethereum, except it's better. If we can get some folks really building on this and really pushing it, the average with all those coins I saw and a lot of the coins that I pulled, you're looking at, for the top ones, probably about a 2 to 400x. I'm just going to give Pulse the benefit of the doubt because this is a bunch of hopium anyway. 500x in 3 years, so your $100 would be worth 50K. Your $1,000 sacrificed may be worth 500K, and then your $10,000 sacrificed may be worth 5 million. And I missed an L there. So I'm saying all this to say good luck. Hope you guys like my channel. Check us out in the Telegram group. We have a bunch of really good folks. We have good conversation. It's just a good place to hang out. You'll get the videos before anybody else does. You can ask questions directly to me and a whole lot of knowledgeable folks in there. We don't have drama. I kick people out if they're being stupid. So just keep that in mind. I hate to have to say this, but guys, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion based on some very, very loose math and some very strong assumptions. I hope everybody does really, really well. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. And once again, thank you guys so much for listening.